Hello, hello, hello. What's up? This is another episode, live stream number 7, 7 out of 10. We made it. We made it. And I'm excited because this past week was a whirlwind of a week. A lot of things been happening, a lot of things have been shifting. And when you're building something from the ground up from scratch, it's the classic saying, it's like jumping out of an airplane and building your parachute on the way down. So this week was some interesting updates that felt like steps back, but the step back that this took and brought me gave a whole lot more clarity. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be explaining today on the live stream not the change, I say the update to how I was thinking about who I was addressing with the business. And this came from talking to somebody great I met during a mastermind. And then the other thing I want to be showing you guys this week is the workflow I use to turn a video script into several other pieces of content that make my life easier. And what I'm thinking of doing this week is actually flipping the script upside down. I want to start in with like getting the hands dirty and showing you the actual workflow from how I take a video script and turn that into a blog post, into social media copy, into social images as well. That was like the big unlock that I had recently. Turn them into blog covers and all these things that look decent, not these things that look like 100% it's made by AI and it looks pretty much trash. I'm talking about stuff that you'd be impressed if you made this yourself, that type of quality, and also turn those into newsletters as well. And then I'm going to go back towards the end of it and just explain through the entire process I had with a chat with a friend about how the way I was positioning myself was too replicable. And the whole goal is to have a USP that's defensible, a UPS that's defensible, and I did not have one. So if you're watching this, just say hi in the chat, say what's up. Don't be shy, don't be a stranger, just pop in. And I'm going to dive right in. So actually, one quick thing, I did pause those LinkedIn ads. So again, because I had the conversation with a friend about how the target audience I was chasing was slightly off and different. And the part of the business of me helping people create videos and repurposing those videos wasn't defensible. It wasn't sticky enough. It was too easy to copy. He had me rethink things a bit to really unlock the one gem of the part of that whole process that I never marketed or shared. But that's coming later. But first, I want to show you guys how I turn a simple video script into a blog post, newsletter, and everything else. And I'm going to start out by showing you the quality of the content that comes out. So let me go to the screen share section here. Boom. So I'm going to come back to this guy in a second. So here's the final output. Let me get a little preview. I didn't put the image in yet, but this is the final output from one of the videos I created last week, in where it was able to just kick everything I said, the tone, the words I use. So again, the words that I'm using in those videos is being pulled into the blog post here. Now, this doesn't mean much, right? It doesn't seem anything fancy. It's like, okay, Chris, so what? You turned a video script into a blog post. Whoop-de-doo. People have been doing that for years. I got you. Just, hold your bridges, hold your horses. This is just like the beginning. This is like the base layer of things where the quality is fairly decent. I'm not seeing an M dash. There's like words that I'm actually using in there. So now, if you're thinking about, okay, this is great, but you want to be wowed, I got you. So now I'm going to show you the output. Then I'm going to explain everything and how it works. So I'm going to pop into here. Yes, you're able to see the folder. Let me go to creative output, social graphs, blog. So this blog cover. It's a cover for a blog. Like, tell me that is not insane quality. The words make sense. The image makes sense. It matches the tone of this post about how the AI slop and how to algorithmically proof your content. And again, Merriam-Webster's word 2025, slop. So if I come back to here again, this is the image where the whole goal is that you're not a robot, you're a human. And the whole goal, the whole thing, my message and my mission is to bring an end to faceless content and get people's faces back out there. So we're buying from humans. Like, granted, if we were going back in time and we were going to the market, I'd be seeing David's face, I'd be seeing Khalid's face, I'd be seeing Raul's face. Everyone's face would be there every single week when I'm buying produce from Raul, I'm buying fabric from Khalid, and I'm buying my fruits and veggies or my meats or fish from David. Like, those are the faces that are constantly showing up, and that's how trust is built. We need to figure that out digitally, and that's why this is just gold. Like, sure, I can put my face on here, but not every image needs to have your face on the cover of the blog. That's one image. Now, here's another one, which was the AI slop. Simple, minimalistic, but I'll be honest, those texts in the background to blur out, I'm not doing that in Canva. I don't know how to figure that out. For someone like me who's artistically who's artistically challenged, This is way more than good enough for me. And like I could be paying someone on Fiverr or on Upwork maybe 15, 20 bucks to get this done for me. And like over time, those 15, 20 bucks add up. And here's another one for social media posts, like that little slightly quasi vertical format. Kill the slop. The whole message is kill the slop. This is gold. You got some like tech writing in the back. Almost feels like it's the Matrix when Neo's doing some coding in the back. But I know the Matrix, it's green. This is orange. It is what it is. But even the slop's got that glitch like it's Mr. Robot going. This is great. So now this is the part where my mind really blew. It's like, great. The text output that I got had some carousels. And if you all know carousels, they're kind of challenging to make. They're not that easy. You got to get the images to line up. And then you want to get that cool swipe feature when you're moving from one to the next. It's got that like perfect carryover. I've tried learning that. Not my jam, not my strength. So here now, let me open this folder. Now get ready. Your mind's about to be blown. I'm going to show you some quality outputs with AI for a carousel. Your face is your most underused business asset. Impactful, bold, in your face. If you're scrolling on LinkedIn or on Instagram, you're going to pause for half a second. Let's see the next slide. 63 believe leaders mislead them. 50% assume AI generated. Now, granted, this does go with a caption and a text. Now you got the brain, like, dude, like I didn't tell it to do any of this. That's the beauty behind this. I did not tell it to put the brain image. It just took the text that's in the slides, in the carousel slides, and figured out this is an image that needs to be done. Your brain has a dedicated face region, 170 milliseconds. So that's for the fusiform gyrus. So the fusiform gyrus, if you didn't see that video or if I didn't upload it, is essentially a part of your brain that lets you recognize faces in milliseconds. So that way you build familiarity, you build trust. It's one of those mechanisms in our brain that kept us safe. Like if you're going out into the woods and you've seen that same tree all the time, and all of a sudden you're seeing something orange in that tree, it's a tiger, your brain's going to catch that, and you're going to be able to fight or flight instantly without having to turn your head and fully register things. But again, this is not a science class. Then there's like minor neurons fire when they see a face. These are things I may have explained the fusiform gyrus, but that's neither here nor there. And it's like every video is a deposit in the trust bank. So all these go with the video that I recorded. And these are terms that I've used. Like I've mentioned the word the trust bank in that video several times, and it was able to pick it up and put that into like, this is gorgeous. Again, I'm not building any of this. Faceless brands, you got the word racing, faceless, and like a bunch of other words that are just kind of being erased the same way as the person's face. And it's like, there's concepts in here that I would have never figured out. Like my type of design is black text on an off-white page. I'm a happy camper. It's clean, crystal, no distractions. But we're visual creatures, so I need to find ways to make things a bit more engaging, a bit more exciting, and this is doing it for me. So it's like faceless brands are losing, and then decades of credibility gone in one news cycle. And hiding behind faceless content doesn't make you invisible, it makes you unverifiable. And that was another one of the words I used, was unverifiable in the video. And then your face is not vanity. It's the fastest trust signal, most efficient sales tool, and it's only compounding authority. And I think I got 2 more slides here. So again, you're not a bot. Watch the full breakdown. Record 1 video this week. The call to action is getting people to record 1 video this week. Just do it. Don't be shy. The next video I just recorded has the same call to action, telling you just record 1 video. Start with 1 and get that done. Start with 1 and get that done. That's pretty nice. That rhymes. And then yeah, so I think this is this is a B version of the end image. So again, that gave that. Can find the copy real quick to show you. Campaign, AI slop, social, LinkedIn. Here's the carousel copy. So let me show you this. Let's open this in marked. Yeah, X. So this is where the breakdown of the slides came in. So again, pumped it into the AI. It took the video script that I wrote and put together and was able to pull out the important points. So now if I try to put this side by side with the images that we had previously, so it's like slide 1, it's the fastest way to kill your brand authority. Okay, not fully the exact same thing, but close enough. Slide 2, Merriam-Webster's word was slop. So like it got the word, oh no, this is the wrong one. I'm looking at the wrong output, my bad. Let me see if I could find content plan. Nope. Content, nope. Okay, here we go. AI slop audit. I think this is the one that makes more sense. Open with marked. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, that is okay. Anyways, I made a mistake, but nonetheless, you see the point. So now let me show you what that looks like and how that was built together. So first things first, if you're planning on getting anything done with AI to repurpose content or help you create your content that looks nice and great, you got to go visit the Boring Marketer guy. He's fantastic. I watched him on a video with, let me find it for you, on the HubSpot podcast with Kieran and, oh man, I'm drawing a blank on their name. They are Marketing Against the Grain is the name. So Marketing Against the Grain. Let me put the name James. So he was here. And which one was he again? James. Are they showing him? Control F, boring. Yeah, so it's this episode here with the Boring Marketer. I'm not going to load it up right now, but I saw him there and then went to his page. And essentially, what he has is a set of Claude skills that's just pre-done for you, pre-set up for you, and ready to go. So if you're unfamiliar with Claude skills are like, see if I could try my best to explain this again. So here you got the robot AI, Claude, that has big brain and big ability, but it also has, I'll say ADHD. It's easily distracted. Like it could go in any direction. You got to really try to control it. It's very sporadic. I'll go with that. That's a much better term. Sporadic. Now, Claude skills, what these do is it takes this highly skilled individual, the AI robot, who's able to go in any direction you point it to, and it helps it narrow it down and give it specific skills or specific tools to allow it to act and perform specific tasks. So the best way I look at this is Claude skills is just like if you ever seen The Matrix and you got that scene where Trinity's in the helicopter and she's got to figure out how to fly the helicopter. She goes back to the dude at dispatch. I need to fly this helicopter. And dude just downloads it into her brain and she does the whole thing like this. And then all of a sudden she knows how to fly a helicopter. Or it's when Neo's training with Morpheus and they download Kung Fu into his brain and he does the whole thing like I know Kung Fu. That is essentially skills for Claude. To where you as the person have this great ability, well, you as the person, in this case, Claude, which is Neo, has this great innate ability to do a ton of stuff, but it needs to learn a specific thing on how to do that specifically. So it's like getting a workflow, a specific task. You're telling it to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G in that order. It'll follow that order. And what this man has done has just, James Dickerson, I think his name, just saved you a ton of time. It saved you so much time from having to figure out what each skill does, trying to create each one yourself. He's figured it all out to the point where you just upload his skills. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like here. I'll show you some of the names of them. So let me just open a new chat. And I think so. I'm actually using Gemini for this example, but that's nor here nor there. All right, you know what? I'm gonna just open the folder. That's much easier. So let me pull this up here. AI skills, downloaded skills, the Vibe Marketer V2. So he has several skills. Like one's a SEO content writer. Oh man, can I zoom this in? That's as far as it goes. So let me go back to this one here. That'll be just bigger here. Skills. I forgot the backslash. Skills list. Here we go. So these are all the skills that came. I got a little mixture of two things, but here are some of the skills that he's brought. So one of them is like the SEO content writer. So it's create SEO optimized content. Nothing new. We've seen that before. But some of the ones I like that he has is what he calls the content atomizer, which is a whole repurposing process where you transform one piece of content into platform optimized assets, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Blue Skies, yada, yada, yada. Triggers on, and then he has other, let me see, which is the one, I think it's called Creative. Yeah, so then he has another one called Creative, which is an AI creative production engine for producing photos, videos, social graphics, talking heads, and a bunch of other stuff. Those are the main two things I'm really using, but what he set up is a whole system to where you just launch one skill, which is the start here. It'll ask you questions about your business, what you're doing, what you're offering, and everything, and then put everything into this whole second brain within the AI, so the output and quality is great. So now what does that look like for the stuff I was doing? Let me go back here to CMux. Let me load the first one. So here I provided it the blog that I wrote here. So I put it into content plan. and it's called AI Slop Audit MD. And then yes, I told you I told it go write the blog with the SEO content skill. Great. It went through all that. And then it provided the blog, created the blog. So here's the title summary, the AI Slop Audit, how the algorithmic proof your content in 2026. Word count, don't care. Then it saved the file here. And then it's like, great, what next? It's gonna ask you, like, what do you want me to do next? Do you want me to atomize it to repurpose it to other platforms? Do you want me to create a newsletter? Do you want to write the next article? And I'm like, you know what? I want you to add the draft to my blog. I want you to add it straight to the website. And that's when it brought this here. So this is still in draft. Let me go back. Yeah, so it's still in draft, not published, but this was a test to say, like, can this whole workflow work where I could go from one platform and push it out to another place to save me the friction in clicking. So then that got done, that got pushed, gave me the URL to go check it out at, great. And then I'm like, great, and now I want you to atomize this and repurpose it for several platforms. And that's when you could see here highlighted in purple, this is where it just ran through by itself. It has its own brain. It tapped into the creative skill, went back to Content Atomizer, did a bunch of stuff. And then it went to the voice profile where it takes my style of voice, my style of writing, my tone of voice, and then took my positioning as well, and then used that to create the images. And that's where there's this other tool called Replicate API, which is just a gem. Like so this is Replicate API. You just put your credit card in, buy some credits, and connect the API, and it runs everything. And this is the genius behind the quality of the images that I got here that I showed you before. So I'm gonna show you that one more time. Creative output, social graphics. So again, that created this. Now you could try to do this in Gemini yourself, Nano Banana, Leonardo, whatever you want, but he's got a system. This guy, James, big brain move, has a system that connects everything together and just has everything flowing. It's almost like a conveyor belt, or I lost the word, but it's almost like a conveyor belt of one thing after the next keeps coming out, keep coming out, coming out, and has the quality, is more than 85% good enough for you to put out, and it's easy for you to kind of tweak and do things with. So then you can even see here, it's like, great, it went to the creative kit, and it's like I shifted the focus and realized the core task is to build a creative kit. So this was the first one. So it needs to create the kit to understand your brand. And this is where it learns the primary colors I like to use are deep charcoal, human white, which is funny enough for a name. The accent is an anti-slop orange, and then the trenches, and then the typography figures out bold, condensed, the body clean and readable, and it figures all that out. And that's when it created the blog image and the social card. That's that vertical one I just showed. And then it asked me, like, do you want me to proceed in generating the other assets? And I'm like, go ahead. And that's where all the social images came from. So that's where each of those carousel images came out of an output. And actually, before it does that, it asks you what direction you want to go with. So based off of the content that I put in, so you put in a blog post, you put in a video script. In my case, it was a video script. And it says, like, look, there's 5 directions I could take creating this carousel in. One of them is visualize the audit by literally crossing out AI isms. The other one is the contrast between high contrast typography and a digital slot. So the vibe is just like, it's giving you different feels and vibe that you want to go with, and you just pick the one you want. And then bada bing, bada boom, you can see now the banana does some stuff. And I just said back and forth that I put in the token because it wasn't figuring it out. You don't need to know that part once you get it running. And then out here comes the images, and everything was great. So again, that comes from the boring marketer, James Dickerson. Just go to thevibemarketer.com/skills, pick it up. It's going to save you so much time. But as I mentioned, now I'm going to show you this whole process live in person. So I'm going to take my latest script, the video I just recorded yesterday. So again, just recorded yesterday. It's down here in Descript that is ready to be edited. So let me just show you that here. And this may have been the longest video I've recorded. So if I go to projects, why ghostwritten content is professional catfishing, stay tuned for that one. And you can see here at the bottom left corner, this is 20 minutes and 20 seconds of footage that I just got to go through, edit, clean up, and remove a bunch of ums and ahs and tweak things a little bit. So that's coming soon. So I already took that script. So this is the script here. So I'm going to copy this script from my notes, and we're going to feed this into Gemini. So I'm going to put that in here, video blog 2. So I'm going to download that as a markdown file just because there's less stuff and it's just straight text, simple to easy for the robots to read and consume. So now I'm going to go to that download folder. I got that file. I am going to copy that file. And now I'm going to put that inside of my input folder. Sweet. So we're going to come back to this. So now I'm going to pop back into here. I got the other one loaded and ready. And for this one, the start is, so I'm going to voice record this. I've recently recorded a video and I have the transcript for the video. I want you to take the video and help me convert this into a blog post. So I just use video, audio, voice to text recording to get the text out, which saves a whole lot of time, which makes it a pain when I got to edit this live stream because now there's video of me talking to the robot on my screen, but whatever, that's nor here nor there. So then the other one, I just want to make sure I got the right skill. Yeah, content atomizer. So let me go here. Oh, okay. Let me just do this from scratch because if I got to put this, I got to call the skill in first before trying to run anything. And this is going to take a while. Okay, let me do it that way. So let's call content atomizer. Sweet. And now I could paste in this post. Here is the file. Here is the video script. Here's the video script. So now I am, okay, there's two ways because I'm in the right folder. I could just do @ and then I could find the input folder. And then I could see here at the bottom, it says video blog 2 and just press enter. And let's let that guy run. So now the great thing about the skill that he set up is when it runs, it's going to, if it's uncertain of anything, it's going to ask you questions and it's going to help you figure out what you need to get, what added information that is required to get things done. So here now you can see like it found the file, it's reading the file, and it's generally going to ask permission for a few things of am I going to allow access to particular folders, particular files? Because what happens here now is, let me pull this up, is I gave it access to a file in this, oh man, you really can't see that, right? Let me, view, can I zoom this in? Window, zoom? No, that's not it. Move to resize. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure that out. Okay, that's as far as I could bring it. So essentially went from the input folder, and now here it's asking, it's like, great, I want to make a folder in the campaign and call it professional catfishing authenticity. So that's where it's going to go to the campaign folder, and it's going to create a folder for this entire post. So I'm going to say yes, allow for the session, go ahead. So this is where it's great, where it's not just dumping everything into one place. It's really compartmentalizing everything within folders so that I could easily find the campaign I want for Your Face Builds Trust. And I could find everything in there I needed to create the carousel, the copy for LinkedIn, and everything in there. And then for the other one, for AI Slop, all the copy lives there as well. So let's see where we're at. It's like, so option 1, the capture don't create method. Okay, that's just reading the lines. So it says here, an honest post, record one video, action required. Do you want to write to this campaign? I'm not sure what's going on here, but let's just say yes, apply change. And I could have asked it for an explanation. I think Control E is where it gives you an explanation. Okay, so here it says, I've converted your video script into a human-first blog post that aligns with your brand's voice. I focus on keeping it punchy, scannable, and scolding towards the slop and catfishing occurring in your industry. You can find the blog post here. This is the TLDR. I'm like, so it could ask me, so I could go, let me go find the file, and then I'm going to show you the joy. So it's there, it's great, everything I need is there, but I don't want to read it in this. I'm going to ask it to push it to the blog post. And even then you can see before I press that, I'm going to keep in mind to come back to it if then I wanted to atomize for social posts. I'm going to say then atomize for social. So this is tricky. Asking it to do 2 distinct tasks at one isn't the best thing, but let's see what happens. Okay, so while that's running, so you can see here, I got the blog post. Let me open this up in a much nicer view. Professional catfishing, why your content team is killing your trust. Great. We're living in an era of professional catfishing. Executives are outsourcing their thinking to ghostwriters, creating a perfect but hollow presence. It's a trust time bomb to fix. Stop creating and start capturing. Oh man, that is nice. That is nice. Nice, 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 nice. So yeah, we got the headers, easy scannable text. The sentences aren't too long. I see some M dashes in there, but it is what it is. I could go out there, I could go in there and remove them later. Then you got this, so it's actually pulled. So in my script, I'll show you here, I actually call it section 1. So that's more of a me problem from having, that's more of a my fault thing. So when I write the script, I have this section. So when I go back and edit, I know where to add the bookmarks to kind of to make some changes and to add in like the transitions. But again, that's easy to fix. So let me go back here. Let me open this up. So all that is there. Section 2, the hidden cost, which matches the style of the flow I had in the video as well. Section 3 and the challenge. So here it wants to write to the push ghost. Okay, let's go allow. I'm not sure why it's struggling now, but let's see what's happening. This looks like some JavaScript action that's happening in the background. So I don't know what this is, but some JavaScript stuff is happening in the background. I'm happy that my API is not being shown. So again, this is the post, great stuff. So again, the script came from, nope, from something like this, and is already being cleaned up and already polished and condensed down into a easy to read blog post like this. Now, is this optimized with like the headings for the words? Don't care. The whole goal is to get the stuff out there. So when someone's looking at it, the video leads to the blog leads to the video, and the person gets to the newsletter, and the person signs up for the services down the line. That's the whole goal, is to take that one piece, give it as many legs and tentacles as possible to reach further and wider. So let's see how this is progressing. Okay, so that's still thinking and doing its thing. So in the meantime, while that's running, I'm gonna come back to where is the browser here. So that's the second blog I could close. And that is still working its magic. And I'm gonna see if I can find another example, because I think there's another good one of the quality output that came from the images. Was it the funnel content? No, I think that was just the one, eh? Thumbnail. No. Okay, I may be mistaking something. Clone. Nope. Okay, so let me just kind of go back into here. I thought I had something there, but I do not. And let me organize this to explain the way this folder is set up. So as I mentioned before, the great thing about, okay, it's done here. So yes, run it. So the great thing about when you're using the Vibe marketing skills from James Dickerson, aka the Boring Marketer, is that all the output gets put out into places that are easy to follow. So the memory it has lives in here. It gets some words that I use. So here's, let me open this up in the nicer view. So here it has a glossary where EIS stands for Expert Insight Sessions, BIP stands for Build in Public. Employeepreneur is someone who works full-time and builds a side business. Chris's identity, strategic, not transitional. So again, these are some of the things that I've said. So this is where it feeds into that memory consistently. So when it's having to create any piece of content like it did and repurpose my blog, it's gonna be able to go back into the memory to figure out what does Chris mean when he says employeepreneur, and it'll get a whole lot more context. Okay, let me come back to here, allow for the session. So then it's got the memory. The other thing is the brand. So here's like the assets for the brand, where it has everything it needs to understand the brand. Oh man, this is gonna be long. So yeah, this is where it links out to other pages. That's not gonna open. Let me close this guy. Okay, that's still trying to do something. So like here, let's go to Creative Kit. Yeah, so here it has my brand colors. It has the typography, the visual style I like. I didn't provide as my logo yet because I don't want the logo stamped in on the images. Competitor visuals, cash cow, clickbait style, reference style, pioneer, rebel, minimalist style. And it's got all that information in there. And then the last one here I'll show you here is positioning. Let's open this guy up. So the angle is the content counter revolution. The war against the sea of sameness starts here. And the psychology part is taps into the deep frustration of being drowned out by generic AI slop, positions the reader as a pioneer of quality. Pioneer of quality. The headline direction is kill the faceless content before it kills your brand. This is great. And then this is best for creators tired of low quality automation, seeking a long-term brand authority. Competitive landscape, build your business 100K from a laptop, total nonsense claims that are out there. It shows the different angles I have. So all that's in there. And that just came from it asking a bunch of questions based off of the skills that James Dickerson created. And let me just show you that real quick. The start here skill, because that's like the one that completely separate things from everybody else. Is his start here? Okay, here we go. We're getting somewhere. Okay, so it pushed it. The post, okay, let's see. The post got created. And I think because I asked it to do two things at once. Boom. Professional catfishing. But there's no text. Okay, so that's a fail in public. It happens. That's what happens when you do things live in public. Things don't necessarily work. Okay, so now it wants to write the slides. That's why I don't ask it to do two things at once. Let's just say yes. Then I have to come back and tell it that it never put the copy of the blog into the post that it created. Yeah, create the Twitter thread. Yes, allow for all the sessions. Okay, where was I? So here. So here's the skill that he created. And this is the reason why it has all that brand information in there that you don't need to keep feeding it every single time. Like the days of doing the mega prompts where you input your target demographic, your ICP, who you are, what your business is, the history, the positioning, the messaging all into the prompt, which just took more space and memory. Those days are done. They're gonzo. They're finito. They're in the past. C'est dans le passé. So here we have the orchestrator. So it's like your job is what exists, project scan, and then understand what the user needs. So you're the entry point for the entire Vibe marketing skill system. You're not a chatbot. You're a marketing director who just shows up on day one, audited the situation, and started shipping. So then every skill in the system has a purpose. So he explains what each of his skills does. So the brand voice, the positioning angle, the keyword research, the lead magnet. He breaks down the dependency. So how the folder structures are set up. So it's like run this first at all times to build the brand memory. And then it needs its foundation. So it'll do some strategies. So it'll do some keyword research. It'll help with the lead magnet concept. And then it'll execute on creating copy. So direct response copy for landing page, sales page, blog copy, email sequences, newsletter, and then creatives. And then it'll help with distribution where you repurpose things. So I think I may have made a mistake in not having the SEO content writers trigger first so the blog get written, but it is what it is. And then it has detections for this time. So it's a long post. I'm not going to go through all this. So I'm going to let this run, say yes. And then we'll see at least some quality output that comes from all of this. I really want to show what this looks like. And you know, for saving up time, I may just go in there and copy the post myself. So let's go back into here, the Chris clone folder. Let's go back to the top. Okay, so here it says, do you want me to create? I'm like, yeah, allow. So we were at the campaign, professional catfishing. So all the social copies coming in. Okay, sweet. So here it says it's done. The blog got drafted. So I'm gonna tell it the blog draft was created in Ghost, but you never pushed the actual copy of the post into Ghost. Before I press enter in that, then it says it's done the social media atomization, created all those. And then next is like I can generate the Instagram Reel script, the TikTok script, and if you want, I could double down on the face forward video strategy mentioned in the post, or I can help you draft a newsletter edition to send to the newsletter. So first I'm gonna have it do that. Then I'm gonna tap into the creative to have it create images for that blog post, a cover for that blog post, and then we're gonna have it create the carousel for that blog post. So if I go into the folder, social, LinkedIn, it created a text for the carousel as well. Boom, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, all the way to slide 9. That got created. Okay, so here it's doing something. It's making some changes to stuff. Let's see what happens. Nothing could potentially break. And again, like I'm trusting the robot to go run and do everything. And that's why I had it to only put it in draft, not post it live, because I have trust issues. I'm not going to trust it that well. Granted, the first time I ran this, it went in through with no problem. So let's see what happens here. So now we do have, it's like I said, it gave the LinkedIn script for LinkedIn text for the carousel. I do even have the post that I could use to just post one time. So like, here's the, let me put, I got it. Let me just open this by default with marked. So that way I could just keep double clicking and make my life easier. So setup and, oh, okay, mark's not there. Where did I get marked from? It's not organized by alphabetical. Where did mark come from? Was that not? Okay, maybe it was a setup. Let's go back to the top, setup. Marked, there we go. Oh crap, but I didn't say by default. No, okay, let's try that again. Other, always open with. Let me close this in the background. Delete, delete. And let's do this again. I should have had this prepped ahead of time. This is not fun to watch, but let me just make life easier forever and ever. So here we got the slide. Everything's done, easy to read. And here it said it pushed it. Okay, so let's see what happens if that's true. Let's refresh the page. And let's go here. Okay, just pushed another copy with no text inside. Okay, so there's some stuff to fix. I'm just gonna delete this. So that's not needed. And I'm gonna open this bad boy and I'm just gonna go back to the folder and we're just gonna open the blog post. Oh. And let's just copy that entire text into here. And let's preview that. It's gonna look super spaced out. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go back in there and do this. Either way, the blog got done. So now the thing I need to get done now is to get images. So I wanted to create a blog image. So I'm gonna go to the creative and say, I want you to create a featured image for the blog and create a image for the LinkedIn post. Yeah, so let's see what that does. So that's going to do something fairly, hopefully something of quality and interesting. So I'm hoping to get some output of that where the image looks quasi decent enough. Because again, the last time this ran, and this is the thing with AI, right? You run it once, it looks good. You run it twice, things may be different. And as I'm experiencing on live stream, the one post I ran to have it pushed to the blog didn't quite work out. But that's no biggie because the last time I got a blog image, it came out looking like this. So I'm hoping to see if the output this time is going to look anywhere near as decent, or is it going to be completely far off? So we're going to see what that does in the background. And this, honestly, this may take a while. So what I'm going to do now is, oh, okay, I'm going to have to erase that token that just got exposed. Okay, note to self, delete that token afterwards. Okay, so that's running. Let me pull up the, so there's the blog post, and let me go back to the replicate side so you can see just how much this costs. Like it's honestly, it's fairly cheap to run all this. So like right now in progress for April, there's $3.95. So the last blog that got done in March cost $1.05. Just ran down a banana a few times and it created 7 images. So the output of that carousel that was here. So this carousel, which is actually 10, but anyways, it costs $1.05. Fairly cheap, fairly easy, not too complex. Okay, so it says I put the full content, blog post. That is weird. I ask it to draw an image though. Okay, but the creative direction. Okay, what direction do I want to go with for the images? High contrast portrait of an executive where half the face is grainy and real, or a top-down shot of a perfect printed ghostwritten script and a messy desk and a hand physically redacting. That may seem cool. Milli Vanilli silhouette, a dark silhouette of executives behind a screen with a giant pup. That's the one. Number 3 is the option I want for the blog images and LinkedIn images. So let's go option 3, Milli Vanilli. Although number 4 is pretty dope with the orange sticker verified human, but I'm curious to see how it does the puppets and the marionettes. So that's gonna be pretty dope. So again, if you're just coming in, I'm sharing the entire workflow I have from turning a video script into a blog post, newsletter, social image copy. So if you haven't seen the last video I recorded, was able to build out and create these beautiful carousel graphics, and like all done via the robot. I didn't have anything to do with the design of this. As I just showed you, I just selected the direction that I wanted to go in and I ran with it. So I'm gonna say yes, allow for the session. This is a bunch of JavaScript in the background, some code that got done that the Vibe Marketer guy created. So I'm gonna say yes. So here it's saying it wants to go talk to replicate.com. Yes, go for it. Okay, so there's a problem there. So interesting, the last time I ran this, there was an issue with the speed of me wanting to get images. So because we're trying to do all the images at once, it timed out. And this may be the same issue again. And this is where like it's, you know, you're building this stuff with AI, nothing's perfect. People are going to sell you this dream of just insert this workflow, download these skills, or take my N8N workflow and everything's going to work peachy smooth and easy as ever. And it's going to be a one click and everything's done. I'm just showing you live. That's just not true. It's just not true. You need to have some sort of savviness to understand things and how things are working. And the great thing is that all this looks super complex and complicated right now, but the robot's able to explain things to you and what it's doing and why it's doing it that way. So like a lot of the stuff I learned through just trial and error and like saying again and again and things didn't work, but then was able, I'm like, can you explain to me what's going on and what's not working? So let's see here, like if I click control, oh, I can see what the first 13 lines of this was. Okay, so it's hitting some sort of block somewhere. Okay, I keep seeing a 404, and 404 is never a good sign. And at the same time, I could go into the folder and see nothing new in creative output. So something's happening that's not going well. API is hitting. Let's see if anything on the replicate side shows usage. General dashboard. Oh man, this is tricky. How do I figure this out live? So 2 minutes ago, it ran with success. Oh, nice. Dude, this is okay. I didn't even know I could get to here. This is dope. I just download the image from here. Oh, this is really nice. Oh, la, that is gorgeous. So that means all the other images are here too. Okay, but hold on. Okay, but how come the other images? Oh, okay, the data got removed. So I think after a while they delete the images because it just can't sit in like the short-term memory forever. So I think while it's in cache, I'm able to view that. But then, okay, if I'm able to get that through there, why is it not working? Okay, let's cancel that. So escape to cancel. I'd be like, I want you to generate the images for the linked in. No, I want you to download the image. So let me be smart here. So the image ID is this. So I'm gonna tell it, I want you to download the image first. That was created in Replicate with the following ID. Okay, let's see if it does that. And then I'm gonna go tell it for the next one you create these images, take 20 to 30 seconds between each request so that we don't time out. And yeah, allow once. Okay, so here I've downloaded image to Creative, Social Graphics, and Hero Milli Vanilli. So creative output, social graphics, Hero Milli Vanilli. There we got it. That is great. I'm not sure what it's asking here, so let's say yes. Okay, I should have read that. I'll check the status. Oh, the LinkedIn image generation to ensure everything is ready for your campaign. Okay, so it's checking to see. If this times out again. Okay, so it's rerunning the file. So here you can see the prompt actually is going to put in. That's the whole prompt. Use a color and aspect ratio 1:1, JPEG 2K. Let's see how that works. And let's go back to here and refresh this. Okay, so it's processing. So I can see something's happening there. So we got let me go back here to dashboard. So we got something happening here. So that hero image cover costs 15 cents. 15 cents to create a beautiful looking blog cover that looks like this. On brand, consistent over and over again. That is dope. Okay, so it says it's processing. Okay, so I think this is it going to check in on it to see if it's still processing, which I think is still processing. Okay, it's taking a while. Okay, so it's done. So that took 40 seconds to run. Boom. Okay, so here we go. So I got the image cover and I got the social graphics. Let's go back. Let's see the social graphic catfishing. And here we go. Oh, that's nice. Tell me that's not beautiful. Tell me that, like, could you? I couldn't have done that. That is gorgeous. Okay, so let me go. Let me try to get one more thing done to show you guys how I created the carousel. So these are great. Now I want you to create the images for the LinkedIn carousel. Let me see if I can find the file to help it. What folder am I in? It is called campaigns. Yep, it's under, let me double check the folder. It is in, yeah, campaign, professional authority, LinkedIn. Okay, so campaign, professional authority. Then there's the social, LinkedIn, and carousel. There we go. And make sure to take 15 seconds between each API request for the images. Okay, so I'm gonna let that run in the background. Let's just see, let's just confirm again that if anything is happening here, so not yet. You know what, let me move this back over. Okay, so it's formulating the script. Okay, I guess it's doing some sort of magic. It's formulating something. And let's see, anything happening here yet? Nope, nothing yet, nothing yet. Okay, yeah, there we go. So it's figuring out, these are all the slides, the trap. Yep, I allow for this session, go for it. So it's gonna make the folder. It's gonna go through everything. So if I go back to, no, not there. So anyways, it's gonna go through, make the folder and figure everything out. Let's see how this goes. Request sent, waiting 15 seconds. Refresh. Okay, good, perfect. So that's running, that's great. I'm gonna let that sit in the background. And now I'm gonna go over the whole part of how things have shifted in the conversation I had with a friend, because this is as far as things need to go. Like, you've seen the output of what the blogs look like, you've seen the output of what the copy looks like. Just copy paste them, put them in, and you're good to go. So you know what? Let's just read one more. Let's just read the LinkedIn post one last time for simplicity sake. So I'm gonna open this, marked, and bring this text down here. The uncanny valley of content is real. You know that feeling when CGI is almost perfect, but something feels off? That's what ghostwritten content feels like now. Executives hiring ghostwriters to produce perfect posts every Tuesday and Thursday. No rough edges, no weird tangents, no where was I going with this moments. It sounds like a person, but it doesn't feel like a person. And in 2026, the audience is developing a sixth sense for it. Video is proof of life. Unscripted thoughts are proof of work. Rough edges are the new differentiator. If you can't defend the idea in a live Q&A, you didn't write it. So stop creating and start capturing, one honest post at a time. And that's exactly how the script ends, with one honest, I think I say video at a time or post at a time, either or. So that's what that looks like. Things are trucking along here. I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna go get my notes for the whole part of explaining like the shift in, here we go, Friday post call, business adjustment. I got some notes. Okay, so the thing that happened was I had an interesting, let me come back here to full face so I could see. And let's bring these notes to the top as well. Business post call. All right, so I got my notes. So essentially what happened was over the, oh, I've been streaming from the wrong camera the entire time. No. Oh man, human error. Okay, either way, my notes are here. So what happened was over at a call over this past week, one, I got a cold DM through LinkedIn, which started to spark them things. And I'm gonna show you what this cold DM looks like. Let me load this up here. Oh man, that's embarrassing. I was on the wrong camera the entire time. Either way, you're still seeing my face. So I had a cold DM and I already blurred the person's face out and everything. So I got this on LinkedIn where it's like, hey, Chris, just want to pop in an intro. Okay, well, their name's there. Okay, so the person's from Pipelineology. We specialize in helping industry experts like yourself become visible thought leaders. We turn a single interview into a month's worth of authentic video and written content. Camera's there. That is legitimately the business I was doing. Well, I am doing the exact same thing. And that entered my brain. Then the conversation I had with a friend was explaining how everything I was pushing out there was around mechanisms. It wasn't around the actual transformation or what's the differentiating aspect or what's that thing that makes what I'm doing different than everybody else. Because everybody's going to sell a mechanism. We could do this, we could do that. But all these mechanisms, all these workflows are easily replicatable, which is proven right here. This person's running the exact same business strategy and the business workflow that I have, where you take one interview and turn it into several pieces of content. So I had that conversation, and that, like, honestly, it opened things up because the thing that came out from that call was, as he was probing and asking questions, I'm like, well, the thing is that, like, the output of the video, let me go back to just my face here. The thing is that the output of the video is just for to have them get a tangible output of the interaction we're having on that call. So the whole time during that call, that they're getting coached, they're getting tips, they're getting coached on how to improve what they're saying, how to improve their messaging, how to improve feeling confident and comfortable on camera, so that they're not feeling awkward. They're eliminating their getting comfortable with taking a pause, so they could think about what they're going to say next. So it's almost like a quasi media training, but just more bringing out their personal self. So everybody has that quirkiness within them that everybody tries to suppress and come out with this like cookie cutter look. A great example of this that I heard from Rory Sutherland, he's like, when bankers go on TV to talk to people, they're wearing their suits and ties, but it's like, you wear the suit and tie to talk to bankers when the regular folks are just wearing everyday clothes. So there's almost a mismatch that's happening there. So you have these founders and experts and people that have started a business, that are running the business, and that things are growing, and they're getting like PR training and like being told to don't say this or don't look this way, fix this, fix that, to only talk to a certain demographic of people that want to see somebody polished and clean in a suit. But the thing that people are missing is that the reason people gravitate towards your business is the personality of who you are as a person. What's that thing that makes you different? The great way to look at this also is the friends you made in high school and college and elementary school. They picked you because you got weird things about you. And I see weird in the sense of just things that make you different, that they're like, this person seems cool. I want to be friends with that person. So whether you got a list, they're cool with that. Whether you're someone who talks very, very fast and rambles, they're cool with that too. And the whole goal is that a lot of us, as we've aged and we progress, we found ways to suppress that side of us, to just fit in, to look like everybody else, to just essentially be like sheep, and not in the conspiracy sense of being sheep, just more of being like sheep, because we're taught from grade school to not stand out. You're told to fit in. You're told to be like everybody else. Don't be disruptive. But if you're starting a business, you're already someone who's disruptive. You're not like everybody else. You're essentially fearless. You're a big risk taker. So we need that part of you to come out. And that's the big part of what made what I was doing different, was that I was never talking about that aspect, that transformational change that takes place on these video calls, where I was focusing on the mechanism and the output, which when you're putting my output versus someone else's output, we're now being compared on output versus what was the magic that took place during those calls. So that conversation I had with that friend really helped me reshift the thinking I had on how to position what I'm doing, how to market what I'm doing, and also change the target audience to a degree. So I got some notes, and I'm going to share these notes here with you live. So let me come back to screen share and check in. Oh man, I'm really upset that I didn't get the right camera going, but you live and you learn. So let's see how this is going. Okay, it says the images are done. We got slide 1 to 9. Let's see what that looks like. It is in the creative output folder. Social graphics, LinkedIn, nope. It's under which name? Catfishing Carousel. Silly me. That would have been a much better name. All right, so let's see what this output looks like. Is your CEO lip singing? Oh man, that is that is so good. That is so good. Dude, like you gotta tell me this is not a great image. Tell me you're not scroll stopping when you're seeing this. Guaranteed. What's the next image? Slide 2. 3 lessons I learned from failure. We've all seen those. We all know the cringe. We all like, oh man. This I'm having fun. This is great. Like I'm about to get a tear in my eye. The Puppet Master, professional catfishing. The public face, the hidden author. Dude. This is wild. Granted, the bottom left corner, I'm gonna have to erase that LinkedIn carousel section. I'll just go in Canva and make it all black. I'm not gonna ask the AI to redo that. That's gonna take way too long. Slide 4, the illusion of control. When perfect timing feels manufactured. Oh man, it's got the at least the dials of the clock are right. And he's still going with the Puppet Master strings. I'm loving that. And I said Tuesday and Thursday, so this is really good. This is really, really good. Writing is thinking. So that's one thing I do mention a lot in the video that I recorded, is that the whole purpose of writing is to get your thoughts out in real time, to help you wrestle with ideas, to help you look back, and when you see it and write, it's like, that doesn't make much sense. So it helps you clarify the message you're trying to get out. And that's what like all the top people tell you, do journaling every day. It's important, it's crucial. That's why I forget to do with the glasses that wrote, I think Purple Cow has a blog that he writes every day. Trust Time Bomb. LinkedIn, man. The LinkedIn verified, it's not really sticking, whatever, but this is great. Capture, don't create. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Verified human, slide 8. Okay, so that, oh man. This is gonna be hard to clean up. When it says the word slide 8 in there, but I don't care that deeply. Real talk, hashtag authentic voices. Follow for more real talk. That's nice. That is nice. That is beautiful. That is good enough for me. Good enough for me. Okay, I don't need to do anything else. I am good with that. So let's come back to me describing the changes. Where are those notes? So that, yeah, right here, Friday post call. Yeah, so again, so the whole thing there was a lot of what I was talking about was more like just the mechanisms of things. So I think here I have Control F. So it's like, yeah, the whole point is like one interview into multiple pieces of content, which is replicable. Everyone seems to be doing it now. Still ahead of the curve, but the question that I had for myself in this was, excuse me, is that if all these tools disappeared tomorrow and all the AI disappeared tomorrow, what would the client still get from hiring me in my services? So like that in my head had me going, it's like the whole thing is not the fact that we're taking one video and repurposing it a million times and getting you a bunch of content for the month. The whole thing is that we're helping you build confidence when you're showing up on camera. Because the whole thing is you're showing up on camera, you're going to feel shy, you're going to feel awkward. So does everybody the first time they do. But once you get those reps in, you get comfortable, you get cozy, you're not stiff in the neck anymore, you loosen up, more of your personality and who you are comes out. Because the end of the day is that people want to buy from people, and they want to buy from people they could trust. And people they could trust are people that feel like their true selves are coming out and not someone who's bringing out their manufactured, fabricated selves. It's one of the big reasons everybody hates Zuckerberg. They tried to humanize him and he just looked even weirder. Like people are convinced dude's a robot. But you're not Zuckerberg and you're not a robot, you're a human. So that's where that question of if all these tools disappeared, what would the clients keep getting from me they wouldn't get from anybody else? It's that transformation. It's that increasing in confidence. So where in the past, I help people increase their confidence through fitness, exercise, movement, and nutrition, to where you see them walking in with baggy clothes. Then a few months later, she starts walking in with some new Lululemon leggings. She may have the tank top or the crop top, the sports bra with a tight t-shirt on top, and confidence oozes through, and that comes through the constant repetition and being coached and being guided and having someone there to kind of go back and forth to where you could feel comfortable talking to someone and then translate that to you talking in videos, you talking on a stage, you talking at a press conference. Because again, like if you're running the business and you're building and growing, you're going to need to be a spokesperson for your own business and for your own brand. You need to go out there and push that message out, whether you're doing the podcast run, like our like Pierre Poilievre is doing now, going to Diary of a CEO, going to the Joe Rogan podcast, whether you're doing the tours and going to different conventions and talking on stages like a lot of actors or people doing Comic Con and stuff like that. You need to be comfortable talking to people in person and also pressure testing your ideas live. Because a lot of stuff, if you like the whole goal is again, if you got that ghostwriting, you've never spoken these things out and you're just reading a script over and over again, those ideas aren't circulating in your head. You're not thinking of different angles to explain something. So one of the big things that comes when I'm coaching on these calls is I'm helping you figure out ways to explain things in more than one way. Because sometimes you can be talking to a particular audience that wants to hear the message in a certain specific way, and a different audience wants to hear the message in a different way. So that's where the part of the whole thing comes out that of making it different and really having you rethink of, is the messaging I want to put out there really focused on here's what you get, here's what I'm giving you, you just show up one time and we handle everything out for you? No. And like the Kaylee girl from Pipelineology proved to me that like I'm no different than what they were doing. Because then if it comes down to the bottom brass tacks of things and they're looking at me and they're looking at them, they got to figure out who I want to choose. That's when the conversation goes to pricing. And I want to be a point where it's an undeniable decision that they're going to be choosing me because they see the value is not in the output. The output isn't the value. The value isn't the videos and the blog posts and the newsletter and the social copy. The value is that you come in completely shy, scared shitless, pardon my French, nervous, sweating palms and everything, to walking out a whole lot more confident, owning the camera, owning the stage, owning your messaging when you're out there. So that is the whole goal and purpose of what I'm offering and what I'm doing. And that is the shift that he helped explain. It's like, look, with that type of shift, you're not charging 3-4K anymore. You're moving up to a whole different level tier to where I can even bring things like bring back the whole fitness aspect of things and do like a 90-day boot camp or a 90-day intensive. So like that's where I think I have here a note, Control F, 90. I'm in the wrong window, Control F, 90. So like here could be a 90-day intensive package, 20K. That's the goal to get to. But it's 90-day intensive program for media training and getting comfortable on camera. And then that gets followed up by the service offering that I offered before, where once a month we meet up, we do video calls, and I give you repurposed content based off of that one monthly call that we have. So again, having the experience with the fitness side of things, seeing that work, that playbook work, seeing it being done, and the whole goal, whether it's the gym called Crunch or the gym called Lifetime, the thing you're going to, the reason you're selecting the person you're going to is the transformation that they're promising you to have, and then is the person who's delivering it to someone you feel like you could trust. And that's where the whole point of getting on camera is to help people feel comfortable to give that delivery out there. So that's where that shifted. So now the target audience I have is shifting as well. Because like at first I thought it was like, let's think of mature organizations who has a talented team and members who are invisible that need to be seen online so that they can increase their pipeline, they can increase their brand's visibility. But now with this, it's like, okay, is the company really going to pay for someone to get trained and coached up? Not every company's that long-term thinking. And one of the things I learned from Rory Sutherland is the businesses that seem to have the more longevity thinking, where they want short-term, long-term, medium-term wins and are willing to plan for it, are family-owned businesses. And one of the examples he gave was Specsavers. I forgot what they did, but when you're comparing a family-owned businesses to a mega corporation that's only beholden to its shareholders, and the whole goal is to make your quarter look good so that your job is there again as the CEO, as part of the board for the next year, and the next year is there, you're not thinking longevity, you're thinking quick wins, and whatever negative repercussion happens is kicked down the bucket, which sounds just like politicians, but we're not going to get political. So now the new avatar instead is business owners who have attempted marketing but have had little success or failure. And one of the big parts there is that, one, they've already spent money on marketing, so they know that marketing costs money. They're not trying to penny pinch. Two, they know they need to get somewhere, but they haven't gone there yet, and there's some sort of block that they have and they can't seem to figure it out. And a lot of it comes down to like, I don't want to post, I don't want to do that, I feel like a fraud, it's not really me, I don't want to be a social media person, or there's someone in your field who you look up to who's crushing it on social and they're doing a bunch of like crazy dancing stuff and stuff that you deem unprofessional. And you feel like you're better than that. But the whole goal is we got to cut past that, chop that nonsense tree down as a limiting belief, and get past that. So these folks who've paid in the past, who've done the work and failed, but still want to get there, are the people that would be perfect for a 90-day intense. Like, look, we're going to go 90 days all in. I'm going to be on your heels consistently for the next 9 days to make sure that you're consistent in getting that output, getting that comfortability up on camera, and to be able to be the person who's the top dog of your industry, or at least when you're starting to present the stuff, people are going to want to listen to what you have to say, and you're owning that camera, you're owning your messages, and you're feeling completely comfortable, and you're not sweating bullets coming off stage. So again, so what it comes down to, the core value proposition is helping clients feel comfortable being themselves on camera. That's like the biggest thing, is make you feel comfortable on camera so that whatever quirkiness you have comes out on camera. The other thing is bringing out the authentic person rather than the corporate polish. So again, I'm not saying I'm going to be someone who's going to media train them to give a talk at the opening bell of their company going for an IPO. This is not that. This is the person who wants to build relationships online, that understands the people that buy from them because they like them, and it's a relationship you have with your customers. If you know your customers' names, their birthdays, you know their kids' birthdays, you've been to their bar mitzvahs, you've been to their birthdays, you've been to their weddings, you've seen, you may have even been to people's passings, like you're embedded into your client's life to a certain degree. These are the people I want to be talking to because they understand the relationships they have with their customers and clients is crucial. And the only way that message could come out is by them speaking about it, sharing their story, and letting other potential customers know about that. So like they say, there's a stats, 95% of your buyers aren't in market yet. But if when they're time they're searching, you're the consistent face that's showing up, that sounds human, that doesn't sound odd, that doesn't sound like a robot, that doesn't sound like they've had a ghostwritten post coming in. You're the person that they're going to gravitate towards when it comes time to buying decision. And it'll be things like, you know what, I've seen a bunch of your competitors, but honestly, you're the type of person, when I saw what you were saying, you seem like the type of person I could have a beer with or I could share a cup of coffee with. That's the biggest win. At that point, people don't care what your price is. If they got in like, I feel like I could have a beer with you and I want to work with you because I like you, price is irrelevant to a certain degree at that point. So you're no longer battling on price. You just got to keep being yourself and then just deliver that quality value you consistently been doing for past clients and for this new person coming in. So that's what I want people to get to. More and more businesses need to get to that point, and this fear of being in video has to come to a stop. Any other things? It's just me talking about the funnel and things I need to do. Lead magnet strategy. So one of the ideas, I'll share this here. Let me go back to my big face here on camera. We're talking about being face first, and I'm sharing my screen. Here we go. So one of the things I'm thinking of when it comes to the lead magnet for this, so the whole goal is people have to be comfortable on camera. And like, I don't want to hop on a Zoom call. I'm not going to give you a PDF copy to go read this and try to do it yourself. Instead, what I want to do is, it's going to be a high friction thing to do, is to get people to get to a page and have them record a video of themselves talking about something and sharing it. You know what? I'm going to show you what an example of that page looks like, because over the weekend I had the robots create a page. Let me get that folder. So again, the goal is that lead magnet is going to be a thing where they fill out a quick form, they record a video, upload the video, and then I watch the video, and in 2 to 5 days, give them a video reply back with feedback on things they could do to improve their presence on camera, to feel a bit more comfortable, to get their messaging out. And that way, then obviously it's going to be leading to, if you want to work more, here's a paid call. But first, let me just show you the landing page, and then we're going to come back to the entire funnel thing that I was talking about. The entire funnel that I was talking about. Campaign. Okay, so let's see which one. Let's open this in Chrome. Okay, let me go to screen share. Okay, so let me show you this. This is pretty dope. And so this is one example that came. Stop hiding behind text. This will be a picture, obviously, here. This is nice, the button works. So stop hiding behind text. It's not your content, it's how you show up. Explains the outcomes. 4 uncomfortable steps. That is the point. Grab your phone, hit record, pitch what you do, submit below. And then here would be a form that would send to where they could fill out the information and put their information. So that's one example of the copy. The other one that I liked slightly better, I'm pretty sure it was this one. Let's see. No, that is, was it? Let me just double check one more thing here. Did I have another one? Okay, so it was those. Oh yeah, because I had yeah, so that's it. The reason your marketing isn't working has nothing to do with your marketing. Submit a 30-second video. I'll tell you exactly what's happening. So where I put a video of me explaining the whole process, what's happening. You've done everything right, so why isn't it working? So again, this is a very narrow page. Let me zoom in here. And then it's like what buyers are actually seeing. Most buyers form a first impression in the first 10 seconds of watching a video of you online. Is confidence really the problem? Confidence on camera isn't something you're born with. It's a skill, coachable, learnable, and buildable. Here's what I'll do. You submit a 30-second video talking about your business, your expertise, whatever feels natural, nothing scripted, don't prepare. That's actually the point. I send back a personal video response with specific, honest feedback of what I'm seeing. So confidence leaks, body signal, body language signals, the drop-off moment, what's already working for you. What this is not is a post more consistently advice. It's not generic tips about lighting and microphones. And it's not a sales call disguised as a free consult. Just one person watching your footage, telling you what to do. 3 steps: record 30 seconds, submit below, receive your audit. Picture of me, what I've done, testimonial, which I got to get eventually, and a simple form for them to submit their video. So that got created. Let me come back to my face here. So that's where I see the first step of the funnel happening, where I'm going to run ads, put the messaging out there, get the ads with the right messaging and pain point, talking to these people, and then have them get to that page. It is high friction. And obviously, you're going to want things that are obviously less friction. But if somebody really wants to get to that point of getting success to where they're out there on camera, they're able to feel comfortable speaking to anyone, anywhere, at any time, but they're not willing to take this first step, I just can't help you. Because like, if this first step can't be done, everything else we're going to do in those 90 days is going to be impossibly to be get done. It'll be even higher friction. So if you could get past that first hurdle, it's like folks at the gym. If you could get past the hurdle of walking into the gym to ask for help, you beat 90% of people who've never decided to take a step forward in getting better at their health or improving their fitness. So this is that high barrier. It's not really high, but it's that friction first at the front, where if they're willing to record a 30-second video and upload it to me, we're already off on a good start. So it'll be that, and then that'll lead to me giving them back a reply, which could then be turned into a paid session call. It's like, look, you got some stuff. Let's chat a bit more on a call. We could figure out exactly what's working, what's not working. This is more of a call where you get a feel for each other. Like, are we going to be able to work well together if I get you into the 90-day plan, into the 90-day intensive? If not, at least as you're going to get from this one call a ton of value that'll make you feel more, with a few things make you feel comfortable on camera to get started, and a few things to make you reconfigure the positioning and how you're viewing the purpose of you being on camera. Because sometimes people view being on camera as a thing we need to do just for marketing or just for social. But if you could reframe your mindset to you're being on camera to help your future clients know that you're the person they need to go to. And when they see that body of work, that you've been consistent over time, that you're the one that they're going to come to, and they're not going to go to the person who has the most polished video, but doesn't have that body of work and consistency shown over time. And there's a reason why in the fitness space, a lot of these coaches have been around for years, like Zach Evanish, Mike Boyle, the whole Cressy Institute. They've been doing it for years. They're not heavy on marketing today, but in the 2010s, in the 2005s, they were heavy on marketing, publishing blogs and other sites consistently, doing YouTube videos. But now they're at a point their name carries enough weight that word of mouth is enough for them to keep growing and growing. And what I've seen recently, Mike Boyle started posting videos again recently. But if you're not in the fitness industry, that means nothing to you. But I bring that up to show that people who've been leading in the space of fitness and coaching for over a decade and a half, what they did at the start is still paying dividends for them today. And that's the value I want to get people. I want to show people that the whole goal is you just getting it done first and foremost, getting it out there, doing the reps over and over again will make your business marketing life a whole lot easier in the future. So I was focusing on the downstream side of things about think of all the assets you're going to have to be able to reuse to remarket. And I was completely ignoring that the main sticky point of why they'd keep coming to me was that transformation aspect in the middle. So now the whole goal is to switch the marketing to focus on that transformation aspect. And downstream of that, you're going to get a bunch of assets you could use for marketing. You could use for sharing on socials. You could use as part of your media kit, which at that point seems like nothing compared to this person being transformed from someone being shy and scared and mumbling and saying ums every 2 seconds to someone who's owning the camera, owning the stage, owning a presentation, and being totally comfortable talking to people about the things that they care about and they're passionate about, which is their business. So that is everything. Yeah, that is a lot. I went through a lot. Mistakes made on the wrong camera. It is what it is. I got the other one there open. I kept looking at it, but it is what it is. If you enjoy this, share it with someone you know. Other than that, what I will say is, I keep forgetting to plug this in. Visit thelatham.net to follow the journey. So again, this live stream will be repurposed into a newsletter. That's coming as well. So that same workflow I showed is going to be taken from this live stream, which I'm going to have to chop it down to several pieces, and that'll be put into a newsletter. So go to thelatham.net, sign up from there. If you're watching this live, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching this. Other than that, I'm hoping you all have an awesome day. If it's sunny outside, go get some sunshine, go touch some grass, go breathe in that fresh air. Stop being inside. Other than that, ciao. Oh no, don't leave. Ooh, that was a big mistake. Cancel. I almost made a big boo boo. I forgot to click end stream. There we go. Bye bye.